All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Bahakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you, brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rightly dividing the word in truth and sincerity. And Shalom to you, believers out there, the Aki and Wa'akwa. And you can see the title scrolling at the bottom. Set your sights on the realities of heaven. All right, set your sights on the realities of heaven. This is something that I daily have to tell myself, remind myself. All right, that this world, matter of fact, let me just open. I was gonna open up with something else, but hey, that's the spirit. That's the spirit. The Wadi Habashim Yahushua. All right. The yep. Let's get it. Yep. Wait, yep. What's that? All right, First Corinthians chapter 7. You see. Yep, First Corinthians chapter 7, verse 31 says, and they that use this world, not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. All right. And if you've been paying attention, you see the prophecies is jumping off of the page. All right. That's why what really inspired this lesson, I was listening to one of the elders out in Texas. He had a video. The video is called "The Peace is Right in Front of You, Grab Hold." I was listening to it last night. And he was going into like, the peace is right in front of us, these scriptures. All right. Being in these scriptures, being in the spirit. But he was going into how, sometimes we grab hold to different things that you want to do, that might take away from the spirit. Okay. It might not be nothing evil, but it's taking you away. All right. And, I've been guilty of it. And that just made me think, like, I wanted to put this out here, as a exhortation, edification, that, hey, again, that's why this scripture just popped up. The fashion of this world passeth away. We see it. We see it. All right. It's coming to an end. Esau is the end. Jacob is the beginning. What is we in the beginning of? World War III. All right. Beginning of Jacob's trouble. The MOTB systems are in place. It's not mandatory, but they're in place. All right. So going back into it, the title came from actually Colossians chapter 3, verse 1. It says, since you have been raised to a new life with the Mashiach, set your sights on the reality of heaven. This is powerful, man. Where Hamashiach sits in the place of honor at the Most High's right hand. See? All right. It says, think about the things of heaven, not the things of earth. Now, do that mean you go to work, cuss out your supervisor and quit your job, smack your wife and divorce her? No. But what I'm saying is, and I don't mean to be, that might have been a little distasteful, but what I'm saying is, does that mean you just, forget all your responsibilities? All right. You don't pay your cable. You don't pay your water bill. You don't pay your rent. No. It just means that we have to remember that this ain't the end all be all. And it could be hard. Even though we know it, we still could, what am I trying to say? We could still kind of get into the hustle and bustle and let this world stress us out. All right. That's the thing that could do much tribulation. Let me get that. Acts 14, what's that, verse 22? It says, conforming the souls of the disciples and assuring them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High. So it's going to be a lot of tribulation before we get to the kingdom. It's going to be things pulling at you, nagging at you. We're going to have to go through these things. But guess what? We got to be visionaries. I heard Apostle Gabar say that a while back. We got to be visionaries. Sometimes I just lay in the bed and just think about what the kingdom going to be like. It's you know, whatever you can do to think about it. Because you got brothers that put out the artwork, drawing, brothers and sisters in the kingdom, and having the artwork in the videos. I forgot I think the brother Ishar from the South Carolina GMS camp. All right. I'll be watching his videos, and then other brothers be taking the videos. Okay. We got to be visionaries. We got to think about these things because, hey, it'd be a faith booster, man. This ain't the end all be all. We got a whole kingdom to look forward to. We got eternity to look forward to. We got righteousness to look forward to. All right. We're not going to have to hear the alarm clock all the time. And guess what? That's where this peace is right in front of us. Because all we got to do is read the scriptures. All you got to do is listen to exhorting videos from the brothers. All right. Because every video is not going into, the war in Iran. It's certain videos is like this. You need these videos. I tend to start off my day with one of these type of videos, a video from a brother. Not really going into like the meaty situation as far as like World War III and Revelation 13 and all that. I tend to start my day with a brother exhorting video. A video whether I might not want to hear it sometime, but I need to hear it. The Lord speak through brothers to correct you. I start my video with a title might jump out at me. And then I'll be like, yeah, let me click on this video. I might need to hear this. Or I start my day as a faith booster, listening to brothers talk about the kingdom or going into topics, just practical topics. Okay. But again, through much tribulation. That's why the Lord said in let's see. That's why the Lord said in Matthew chapter 11, right? Verse 28, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden. I will give you rest. This is the resting place. All right. This is the resting place. These scriptures keeping our head in the book. All right. That's a resting place. We can shut the door on the world, and get into these scriptures, listen to brother videos. And this is our rest right here. This is what the Lord has given us. He gave you the Holy Spirit to understand these scriptures in the purest form. Okay. And we got to grab hold to that, man. Let me see. Let me get see something. John chapter 16, verse 33 says what? These things I have spoken unto you, that in me you might have peace. In the world you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. See? Yahweh Shah overcame, and that's something we got to do. And he given us the spirit to do it. But what we got to do, we got to grab hold to this word, man. All right. It might be, like it's a lot of stuff pulling at brothers. I know it is, it's a lot of stuff that, especially in these times where, it's getting closer to the end. Them demons is working double, triple time. All right. That's where we got to work triple, quadruple time in the spirit to fight these demons off, man. All right. And I'm talking to myself first and foremost. Okay. That's why I want to put this out here, because I know I ain't the only one. All right. Somebody, even if it's just one person that listen, somebody need to hear this. All right. And the Lord going to direct it to who it need to be directed to. All right. If you listen to this, it's for you, brother. All right. Let me read this again. John chapter 16, verse 33. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me you might have peace. This is Yahweh Shah speaking to you. All right. He giving you the peace in the scriptures. The peace is right here. The peace ain't everywhere else. Why? Because in the world you should have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. That made me think. All right, here go another faith booster for you. Wait, hold on. Let me get this. Here go another one. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 26. This is Yahweh Shah. All right. What he say? He said, But that which you have already hold fast till I come, right? This word. All right, hold, we gotta hold to it. We gotta grab it and hold it. You know how we gotta hold Sophia. You know how you have your lady you love or you like a lot, you know, and you grab hold to her and you feel those curves and those hips. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hold it tighter than that. And he that overcometh, right? See, you can overcome just like Yahushua. All right, Yahushua overcame, and we all brothers have a portion of that spirit, man. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works until the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. Right, these Edomites, all ites. All right, all these other nations, the so-called white man, the so-called Japanese, the so-called East Indian, the so-called Chinaman, all of them who think of us nothing but niggas, all of them who laughed at us, mocked us, beat us down, put us in slavery. Guess what? And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as a vessel of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I have received of my Father. See? He that overcometh, meaning we got to grab hold to this, all right? And not everything else. It's good to have a hobby. It's good to do, you know, you like to hoop, you like to work out, you like to whatever, play music, you like to draw, whatever it is. That's cool. But guess what? This is the number one thing. And guess what? You're going to find your peace right here. Because I noticed one thing about it. When I tap into the scriptures, reading, studying, doing lessons and stuff like that, and abstaining from different things, using moderation with, you know, sipping on yan and all that, guess what? I got more peace. Things don't bother me as much. Okay. Do I still have problems and trouble? Yeah, but you know, that spirit, when that spirit kick in, it'd be like, hey, when I'm focused on this word, I get more peace, and when I'm in the spirit, things just flow better. All right. And I'm pretty sure you can feel that power when you zoned in, you start feeling that spirit, you start feeling that power, man. Okay, that's the Holy Spirit. All right. But these are the things we got to think about right here. Let me get it again. Matter of fact, right here. Colossians 3:1, since you have been risen to a new life with a Mashiach, set your sights on the realities of heaven. That's the reality. One of the realities of heaven is what? Getting power over the nations, man. Ponder on that. You don't even know what it's like to have true power. None of us do. We've been in captivity. Not even a LeBron James or Floyd Mayweather or whoever one of these guys that's an Israelite. They don't know what it's truly like to have power. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what that's like to really have real power. All right. Let me get this. Isaiah, this is one of my favorite scriptures as well. Isaiah 26, Isaiah 26 and verse 3. It says, thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusts in thee. Right. Thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. Right. Thinking about the realities of heaven. All right. Thinking about higher things, man. Okay. Let me see. Let's see. Yep. Right here. Let me get Matthew chapter 6, verse 19. It says what? Lay up not yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust do corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. Ain't nobody gonna gank your junk in the kingdom. It ain't gonna be, you ain't gonna have to look at another Israelite brother funny, like, man, you ain't gonna have to lock nothing up. You ain't gonna have to be worried about none of that. All right, you're gonna have a estate. You're gonna have more than what you can have. Some brothers might have a planet or land. You ain't just gonna have one house. You know what I'm saying? We about to inherit everlasting life, immortality, man. Power, true power. But lay up yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through and steal. Right. You ain't gonna have to worry about your chariot getting old. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go get your chariot, got to get an oil change. You know what I'm saying? Or just, like nothing's gonna be corrupt. Nothing ain't gonna get old. You ain't gonna have to worry about the things that we worry about. And guess what? This is what this go back to. These are the what? The realities of heaven, man. The realities of the kingdom of heaven is this life that we in is it's gonna be so different from the life that we coming into, man. So much different, man. All right. So much different, man. Again, through much tribulation shall we enter the kingdom. But guess what? The Lord said what? Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, I will give you rest. All right, prayer, studying, reading. If you teach, doing the lesson, doing the work. Okay. Fasting. These are the things that keep you in the spirit. These are the things that can contribute to that peace, man. Even though sometimes it's hard. It's hard to fast sometimes for certain brothers. It might be hard to abstain for certain things. All right. But we got to fight because this flesh is weak. All right. The scriptures tell us that the flesh is weak. Okay. Matter of fact, let me get this. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 14 says, for the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain. For the corruptible body presses down the soul, that flesh. And the earthly tabernacle weigh down the mind that museth upon many things, right? So it's these chains of darkness that it hold us down from a lot of things, all right? Our thoughts, our minds, sometimes we are biggest enemy, man, and that's the fight. The biggest fight is against ourselves. It ain't got to be from an outside source. The biggest fight is us. But guess what? We got the tool. We got the number one tool to combat the flesh. And what is that? That's this. That's these scriptures, man. All right. That's these scriptures. That's why Yahushua, he said what? Yahushua overcame, man. He said, these things I have spoken unto you, that in me you might have peace. In the world you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world, and we can overcome too. That's why he told us in Revelation, he that overcometh what? You're going to get power over the nations, man. All right. Power. So I just wanted to put that out here. Lord willing, it was uplifting and edifying. All right. Remember, grab hold to this peace, man, these scriptures. All right. Let's think about the world to come, man, because it's coming quickly. All right. We see the prophecies. They're jumping off the pages. That's letting us know. And see how Shah gave us the cheat code. Could see why everybody else is panicking. We like, yeah, we see the war different from everybody else. See, we know like, okay, this is happening. We don't know when, but we know, okay, we getting close. Because look what's happening with Iran. Look what's happening, with the Persians. Look what's happening. We see, look, the least of the flock drawing them in. Now they at war. Now it's a domino tipped over. Now we in the beginning of World War III because they can't go back. These things, we knew this years ago, depending on when you came in the truth. Some brothers knew this decades ago. All right. So you got to think, we getting close. So, hey, what manner of person are we to be? All right. So again, Lord willing, this is edifying. To the next lesson. Shalom.